Drums, creating conversations with the world's top drummers in the most extreme genres. This episode is brought to you by Los Cabos Drumsticks, Canada's #1 choice for drumsticks. They provide the wood you need to make the beats you deserve. Los Cabos Drumsticks. Now with your host, Corey Hopping.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the We're Talking Drums podcast. I am your host, Corey Hoffing, and before we get into this week's episode, I want to give a big shout out to Los Cabos Drumsticks. Phil and the gang over at Los Cabos. I have been a part of the family for over 10 years now, and they are absolutely amazing. I love being a part of the Los Cabos team. I am gearing up for a pretty long tour with my band Lutharo all over North America. We're going for 7 weeks. It's going to be pretty grueling, doing a lot of rehearsing right now, and Los Cabos has always been there for me and helped me get the best sticks into my hands so I can perform every night while on the road. So big shout out to them. Love them. If you have never tried Los Cabos Drumsticks, then check to see if they have them at your local retailer. I know they're all over North America. A large part of our listeners and audience is in the United States, which is absolutely amazing. They are a small Canadian company, so make sure you check them out, support them. They are absolutely amazing. So many of our guests are also Los Cabos artists, so big shout out to everybody in the LCD fam, okay? So I am heading out on the road. I leave in 2 weeks. If you're listening to this, it's less than 2 weeks. I will be doing a lot of footage and a lot of podcasts will be released while I'm on the road. So help me out because it's very, very stressful sometimes. Share these episodes with your friends on the social medias, even in person. Be like, oh, listen to this. You know, if you enjoy this episode, hopefully others will enjoy it as well. I greatly appreciate it. In this day and age of Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all that, trying to get these episodes out to our whole audience and to people that will enjoy these episodes is becoming more and more difficult while playing in a band, while working, while doing everything else. Then, you know, I greatly appreciate it. I know our guests greatly appreciate it. Please tag the podcast and our guests in your posts, and it would be amazing. If you want to help support the podcast even further, you can join our Patreon. It's patreon.com/We're Talking Drums. It's just $2 a month, not asking for much. You get all the episodes early, and I also post up if you want to ask questions for some of the upcoming guests. And every now and again, there's some fun little bonus content. If we can do it, we like to. So you'll get some of that as well. I greatly appreciate the support and keeping doing this. We are on our 3rd year of the podcast. We started in December of 2020 was the first one. So we are over 3 years in now. And you guys have been absolutely amazing. I hope to keep doing this for a very, very long time. Okay. All right. We're gonna plow through this. Thank you guys for putting up with my rambling. I have a very sick guest on this week. He goes by the name Moose, if you know him. He is the drummer for the band Kill the Lights. He also was the founding member and ex-drummer of Bullet for My Valentine. And I'm sure at least 90% of you, if not 100%, know that name, okay? He's got multiple gold and platinum records, roughly 4 million albums sold. Okay. Now his new project, Kill the Lights. This is their second album. Death Melodies comes out March 8th. Okay. So if you're listening to this when it's announced, it's coming out this week. All right. So go check it out, buy it, listen, watch all the videos. They have 5 singles out now. So just go and support this man. He does great stuff. We talk about all kinds of drum stuff. Obviously, he is a left-handed drummer that plays on a right-handed kit. So that was a big topic of discussion. All right. I'm not going to give too much away here. I hope you enjoy this episode. And the next episode, by the time it comes out, I'm going to be on the road. So we'll see you on the road, North America. All right. Check the dates. Come to your city, roughly, whatever. Hit me up. Let's have a coffee. Let's chat. I got some really sick guests lined up for on the road as well. Okay. Getting sidetracked. We're going to get into this. Here's my conversation with Moose. Moose, welcome to the We're Talking Drums podcast. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, man. You have had quite the crazy career so far. It's been, what, like 25 years you've been in the music industry, pretty much? You got multiple gold records, platinum records. You got all kinds of stuff under your belt, and now you have a brand new album coming out with your new project, Kill the Lights, called Death Melodies. How you feeling about this new record? What was the writing process like for it going into it? This is your second album with this band, right? So just want to get a feel, like, are you guys mixing things up on this new album? From the singles, seems like you guys are just getting a little heavier, but also a little more focused on your songwriting and making sure there's those hooks in the choruses to catch the listener.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we love writing music that we like listening to, you know. So, and this album, we were like, it seemed a little bit lighter, but looking back on it now, it's a lot heavier and a lot darker lyrically from what The Sinner was. Yeah, so this album was written, the 5 of us wrote this album rather than The Sinner being the 3 of us, just me, Jordan and James. So this was real different because all 5 of us was sitting down together and, you know, checking in ideas and saying this is good, this is shit, you know, work on this a bit more. Yeah, so it was definitely a much more pleasurable process writing Death Melodies than it was The Sinner.
Yeah. Do you guys just get into a room and jam, or are you like making use of technology? I guess a lot of bands these days, they tend to just like write riffs and send it back and forth, because I know you guys are kind of scattered all over the globe, kind of, as far as like your members go. So are you making use of that, and like some guy will send a riff and then you'll kind of add on to it or give notes, or do you guys get together and actually jam like old school way and for your writing process?
We do. Obviously, with the COVID thing, we did a lot of writing music via file sharing, and a couple of songs ended up on the album that were written that way. But we really love writing together. We don't really like jam together. We just love being together. So if a guy's got a riff coming up, and then I can say, right, the drums go this way, you know, X, Y, Z, rather than them just programming in, you know, a beat, which I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but I think my idea is better, because it would be.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so,
I know, like.
Go on.
No, I'm the same way, where it's like, personally, I don't like to write when I'm behind the kit. when we're writing music, I like to just be in the room with the guys, and like maybe even a guitar in my hand, for shits and giggles. But yeah, for me personally, I find if I'm just there to play drums, then it kind of hinders my own writing process as far as the melodies and everything like that goes. And like, do you have a hand in writing, like say like vocal melodies and stuff as well, or are you more focused on like the rhythm of the song when you're in the writing process?
Yeah, I mean, music. It's always music first. So me and the guys will just nail that down the best it can be, and then we don't step on James's feet there. We let him, be the singer, be the lyric writer. So I think if James gets stuck, he'll tap up Jay, and so they'll write together and stuff. But no, they don't want me writing lyrics. They'd be terrible.
Yeah. Leave that to the guys singing. I know some guys too. They like to. They don't want anyone else writing because they have to be performing that live and in studio, and they want that direct connection that like they wrote those lyrics. So sometimes it's better just to be like, okay, you do your thing. If there's something really bad in there, then you can make some changes. But yeah, definitely. So when it came down to recording, like I just want to kind of get a feel, like, do you prefer the in studio recording process, or would you rather be on stage? Because every drummer seems to be like, I love recording or I love playing live. There's almost like hardly ever a middle ground in there.
I'm a middle ground guy because I love doing both. Yeah, as long as I'm playing drums, it doesn't matter where I am really.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, I love recording because it's exciting because you're recording your new stuff, and I love playing live because there's people there who want to see you play your new stuff or your old stuff. So yeah, I'm both. As long as I'm jamming, I'm good.
Yeah, the like scrutiny and everything of the studio doesn't make you nervous at all, because like live you play and it's gone the next second, you're on to the next part and whatever. But like in studio, everything's under that like microscope, So that never.
It doesn't. No, I quite like the challenge, to be honest. Someone says, this part's gonna screw him right up because it's really, really hard. You're like, right, you fucker.
Yeah, that's it. That's awesome. And you guys worked with Chris Clancy and Colin Richardson on this last record. Was it the same team for the first record as well, as far as production and mixing goes? Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly the same team.
Yeah, the albums sound phenomenal. You've worked with Colin Richardson in the past on a couple records, so I guess that was kind of like an easy choice for you to make when thinking of somebody to mix the album. So I love all of Colin's mixes and productions, and yeah, it was it any different working with him on this new stuff compared to when you worked with him in the past, or was it kind of just like old friends reuniting?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I always wanted to work with Colin is because he makes albums sound incredible. He makes drums sound like monsters, So yeah, it was nice to get back in a room with him, and it was exactly the same as it'd been, from 22 years ago. So yeah, he just sits in the corner, cracking jokes, drinking wine.
Perfect. Oh man. All right, let's get into some drum stuff. This is a drum podcast. So I noticed, like, looking at some of the videos and everything like that of you, that you play open-handed. Mm-hmm. Are you a left-handed drummer, or was open-handed just like the easiest thing for you when you were starting out and you kind of just went with it?
No, I'm left. I'm like the worst at this because I'm left. I'm left-handed and left-footed, so I lead with my left foot and my left hand. But no one told me that when I was, starting up drums. No one said you should cross your arms or set your kit up the other way like a lefty. So I just jumped behind the kit and that's how I played and that's how it stuck really. The only thing I did do, I didn't want my ride to be on the left-hand side either, so I forced myself to become ambidextrous, and so the right-hand side of my kit, I lead with my right hand, and the left-hand side, I lead with my left.
Oh, wow. How does that... So, because when you're doing, say, like, fills down your rack toms, does it ever mess you up? Because if you're, like, leading with your left? Because that's, like, a big thing, why people switch their kits the other way. Right? So they're not crossing their hands over if they're leading with their left. Is that something else that you had to kind of overcome when you first like started playing on a standard drum kit, I guess?
I just didn't think about it. I mean, I don't think about it now. No, it's just a bit of a gnarly stretch, getting from your floor tom back to your crash, which is all the way over here.
Yeah,
that's the only thing really. And but crossing hands, no, you just stay on the drum longer. I just cheat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're just making the fills different than the way that like a right-handed drummer would play them, which I guess makes up your like original sound as a drummer as well, because you're playing a left-handed on a right-handed kit, so it gives you your own original sound.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a time machine, I would go back and tell myself, "Don't be so stupid. swap your kit around because it is a pain in the ass."
Yeah, I could imagine. I got lucky, and I am a right-handed drummer, so I get to set my kit up exactly how I like. I do like the whole like playing open-handed, so I always have a set of hats on my right-hand side. Like that is probably the only other thing that I have is like, yeah, open-handed is my favorite, but I'm always leading with my right. So
yeah. So yeah, my main kick is obviously my right kick, but then if I go into like double pedal stuff, I start leading with my left, and then I'm like, that's what used to catch me, and I was like, why am I like not hitting that cymbal? Because I had to like try and double up on my right to, hit the crash at the end.
yeah,
But then I had to break down things, and I was like, oh, okay, it's because you're leading with your left. So you start with your left, you've got to finish with your left. That's what used to throw me.
yeah, that's it. Because you got to keep those beats within those bars. You can't just be adding extra ones, right? Yeah. So, yeah, that's it's good that you kind of caught it and were able to break it down. It is also nice that you use 2 kick drums. That's a big A+ from over here.
Awesome.
I love. Yeah, there's too many guys out there playing just double pedals. Like, no, we need 2 full kick drums. It looks sick, sounds sick. That's it. Yeah, big kits all day.
Yeah, man. I just drummers when they have double kicks but use a double pedal. I'm like, I don't why. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand it. The only thing maybe is because they don't want to tune 2 kick drums and they want to use the natural sound from it. I just trigger my kick drum now.
Yeah, me too.
So just trigger it, get a really sick sample, done. Yeah, I even use mesh heads when I'm jamming in our studio, because we don't need all that low end in there bouncing around. Nah,
Yeah.
not necessary. Yeah, when I recorded my last record too, just used mesh heads on it, and my mixing engineer loved me for it. So It was perfect. Yeah. Loved it, man. Do you have a go-to snare that you love to use?
I don't. No. I got a cool bunch of vintage snares, but I never play them. I'm like, well, why did I buy them? They just sat in the
Yeah.
corner, vintage Ludwigs, which would be better in someone else's house apart from mine because they just sat there. But I
Yeah.
do actually love my Brady snare drums. That's what I'll play mainly live and in the studios. My Brady snare drums.
Yeah. What material shell do they have?
I have no idea. They're all
Like,
like these exotic woods. And
oh,
I
okay,
went,
all wood snares. All right.
oh yeah, but this wood is from like the outback in Australia, and I was lucky enough to go to the Brady factory when I was in Perth, I think, in Australia. And he was like, the wood is so like gnarly and thick and been there, and no one has like touched it because it's been in the bush and no one goes in the bush. So there's wood that
Yeah.
actually will break the saw blade because it's so hard. That's
Oh,
what
holy
gives you.
shit.
And I was like, I was playing them, and I was like, it's like playing like a solid brass snare. And he was like, yeah, it's because the wood is so solid and thick.
Wow, I'm gonna have to check these out. Yeah,
Oh,
because
they're
like
awesome.
brass. Yeah, brass is my go-to. I love. As soon as I got my first brass snare, I was hooked. So, but I always have loved wood snares. So, having kind of that like feel of a brass snare, but as a wood snare would be really sick.
Oh yeah, they're
I
awesome.
would,
Check them out.
yeah, I definitely will. That's fucking awesome, man. So do you on this new record, did you have like a favorite song when you were recording it to play?
No, not really. I just treat the recording as like one. You know what I mean? So, but I do like to do my recordings in chunks together. Like, let's do verse one. Let's do like a few takes of verse one. To get the best performance and power and stuff. So I'm not like sloppy going into a chorus or something. So I do like chopping up my my recordings into chunks and then let the guys slice them all together. Later.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you want like I'm the same way too. It's just like, all right, get through this part, and then I even find if you're trying to do like say like 2-3 minutes of a song, your snare, like the way that you hit it is going to vary so much from the start to the end. So like you only have so much gas, and all the producers I work with are just like beat the shit out of that snare. So I gotta do it in like like in 1 minute segments, or like just get through this verse part into the chorus, and then we'll go into the chorus through that, and then go from there. Yeah, definitely. And it is a little strange to think about it. Thinking back to my question is like when you're actually recording the songs, it is broken up into such little chunks that you're not getting a feel for the song until you're actually finished it and can hear it back. Yeah, because you're just so focused on that one section.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And then it feels like you've like been concentrating on those chunks, and then you get to the end, you're like, that's it. And like, yep, come in, I'm
we're
listening.
done.
You're like, that's it. Like, let's do it again.
Yeah. Well, definitely not the last record I did. I was like, get me out of here. I'm done. All right, let's pack up and go home. Like, yeah, it was a lot. It was just like 3 days and just nonstop playing. It was just exhausted. How long was the recording process for this? Like,
I
did you
did
guys?
I was done in. We booked the studio for a week, and I was done in 5 days, and then all the boys, they're lucky enough now, like with technology, all the guitars were just done in their bedrooms. They just flew home and took a DI and then sent them straight to Chris Clancy and Colin, and that's how the guitars and stuff were recorded. So it was just patchy, you know, like drums with it, like 2 years ago next month. And then obviously waiting for everyone to finish work and stuff. And so it took a while, but I'd say if we compressed it together, it probably took about 2 months.
Yeah. But like your session was 5 days to do a record.
Yeah.
And that is very reasonable. Like that is a good amount of time. Like when I hear about guys doing it in one day, a whole record, and I'm like, okay, you just hate the editor, don't you? Because like that's where all your time. The editing took 2 weeks, but you know you got it done in one day. Sure, 9 songs. Okay, yeah, yeah, not happening.
You may as well just program them in if you're gonna do a day, you know.
Right? Yeah. No, you have to take your time with it. It's drums are like the biggest part of when it comes to the recording process. Like you said, everything else is just DI'd, and they can take their time. They can do it at home as long as your guitar players know how to tune their guitars properly and use fresh strings. You're fine to just do it at home. But the drums are so meticulous. And mic placements, tuning, having a second ear there to just hear, like if your snare's going out of tune, you know? So it's not varying take to take.
That's what Colin Richardson is absolutely key with as well. If it just drops a touch, he's like, stop, snare's dropped. And you're like, really? He's like, yep, comes in, tunes it back up. He knows. I wouldn't even know. No one knows, but he did.
Yeah, he can hear it immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why all the albums that he's worked on sound so phenomenal. Like, yeah. And this new record as well, like it just, as soon as I put on the first single, I was just like, wow, this sounds insane. Like it just sounds huge, full. But also has that like bright quality to it. Yeah, everything about it is just incredible, man. Your playing on it is like every part is exactly kind of what it needs.
Thank you very much. That's exactly what I go for. I don't want to overplay. I don't want to underplay. I just serve the song's purpose.
Yeah. Like specifically with Sleep with the Devil, it's like a very kind of like epic ballad type of feel to it. And just the way that you bring the drums into the song and carry it from there, it was like absolutely perfect. Like it didn't need any more, but you didn't underplay it either. Like it was really, really well done. It kind of reminded me of some like 80s ballads, but a lot heavier.
Cool, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Very, very sick, man. Over your very extensive career playing, did you ever, like, I want to get into some more like stories and tales and stuff like that. We have this thing on the podcast where we talk about our own kind of like worst moments in time, and any kind of disasters that have happened on stage. Is there anything that you can think of, like the worst on stage disaster, whether it's technical or, like stage issues or anything like that? Like what's the worst situation you feel that you were in while playing a set?
I've had a few anxiety attacks on stage. I don't recommend having one of those.
No.
Yeah, especially when you're like a double bass part will come in and only one, and for some reason I was having a panic attack and then only one of my feet would move.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That is not fun. That just makes the anxiety even worse too. and
Oh yeah,
then you just
and
start
then
spiraling.
yeah, you're dreading then the next show, and then it spirals out of control. At one point, we were playing some arena somewhere. The lights go out, and I'm just stood, and my drum tech literally has to force me on stage because I didn't want to play it. It
Oh
was
wow.
nothing crazy. Oh yeah, I needed a break. So that's probably the weirdest time. And then a funny time is when me and Jay were in Bollet, we were playing in Switzerland, and I just seen this massive block of cheese fly over, hit the stage, and Jay just slipped, whoop, straight up on his ass. It's fucking. I just remember me and Padge just looking at ourselves, and we almost stopped the set because we were fucking laughing so hard.
Just a brick of cheese on stage.
Yeah,
Oh
Swiss cheese
wow.
too in fucking
Oh,
Switzerland.
of course. What other kind of cheese would they have?
It was brilliant.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm sure you have a lot of stories from the road from those times. You know, you guys did a lot of touring, a lot of huge shows and stuff like that. And speaking of touring, though, Kill the Lights has done a couple tours through Europe and the UK. Still waiting to get to the US, to North America. You know, we're waiting patiently over here. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, once we're done with this UK Europe tour, it's all eyes are set on North America.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally getting overseas. Yeah. Because I think this music would be great over here. The American audience will love it. I'm sure you guys have already had a great reception online to everything. So bringing it to the stages over here would definitely be sick. But you guys actually did a tour in the UK with Bleed From Within a while back. Did you get a chance to hang out with Ali Richardson on that little run?
We didn't really hang out because we were on first. So, and then we just left really after the show because we had to get our gear out of everyone's way, get it back in.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we had a couple of good chats, though. They're really nice guys, and what a terrific drummer.
Yeah, he's really great. I met him at Vakken a couple years ago when I was playing, and we hit it off right away. Super, super nice guy and amazingly talented drummer. So I noticed that, and I was like, oh, Ali, I haven't thought about him in a minute. So I was like, yeah, maybe you guys got to have some chats. It's really cool when, you know, I get people on who I haven't really met before, and then there's always some kind of strange connection, you know.
Oh, there'll always be a connection in the music industry somewhere, especially in metal.
Yeah, always. It never ceases to amaze me. It's rarely even a 6 degrees. It's 2 or 3 at most, you know. So yeah. You guys have a UK tour coming up soon, though, right? After the release of the new record, which comes out on March 8th, Death Melodies. You guys are hitting the road April, May,
all through UK, some European stops. And yeah, we're just looking forward to it. You know, it's our first proper push because obviously the Sinner was a COVID album, unfortunately. So we couldn't really tour that. We only did a couple of shows, obviously, with Bleed From Within on the Sinner. So this time around, we feel like we've been set free a little, you know, and we're going to love every second.
Yeah. When you're on the road, do you have a specific warm-up routine that you usually do beforehand? Or is everything just you so comfortable at this point that you're just okay, just get up and play?
Oh no, I used to think, oh, I just grab my sticks and play. No way. I definitely warm up. There's got to be at least an hour. I think, for a drummer. And everyone says like hands are the most important thing to warm up, but for me, it's my feet, because you know drummers do some fast things on their feet, and I think they gotta be. And if they're not, on point, it sounds. People are gonna notice. So for me, it's warming up my feet rather than my hands. And I use this what's his name? Dan, Dan from Sixth, Dan Ford.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He sent me just like his warm up stuff. So I just go. It's just on there.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Take this everywhere. It says, if I lose this, I'm fucked. So yeah. He gave me that. And that's what I warm up with every day.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because like a lot of guys either have like a very specific routine, like yourself, or it's a very nonchalant, like just making sure blood's pumping and then you're ready to go.
I would love to be that guy, but unfortunately, I have to warm up.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot better. It's a lot healthier. I find mentally it can be a lot stronger as far as just becoming mentally prepared for being on stage. If you sit down and you're playing for like half hour, 45, something like that beforehand, you're mentally getting in the zone a little better before you get up there. So like, if not, because I've done both sides of it, and sometimes it takes me 2 songs just to get warmed up into the set. And when we're doing opening sets, our set's like almost half over at this point,
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
want to be, you want to be warm. You want to be like half hour into your set before you go on stage type of deal,
I mean, the biggest issue is for touring for me is festivals when it's just like you get to the show late or something, and it's just like you just gotta play. You're like, oh fuck, okay, let's go. Shut your eyes and hope for the best, really.
Yeah. What's the worst festival experience you've ever had? Because a lot of guys have had a lot of terrible festival experiences in their day, like even like showing up late, or just like every time I've played Talkin, something has gone drastically wrong. Like it's been not a great experience on stage for me at those big European festivals.
Maybe just like monitors dropping out, or like metronomes. Like the MacBook would just go just melted, and then we're all like, okay. So then I was so reliant on the metronome. I'm like, because I know I need a metronome, but otherwise I play like way too fast. So I'm like, okay. So in my head, I have to count this in. So let's make it slower. And I just played it way too slow. And I was like, yeah, it was fine, because I was thinking I was compensating for my speed, but I played it like a sludge band or something.
Dude, I am the same way. I will never go without the click. And we try to have backups and everything in place, and we don't want to go the route of the actual full like MacBook laptop thing. So we just do like an iPad, and the only thing on it is our click tracks, and that's it. So far it's been really good to us. And if it ever dies, we have a secondary iPad like sitting right next to it, because playing without a click is like, no, I'm the exact same way, where I would always play way too fast. Then I would get in my head about it and then start slowing everything down. And it would just be this roller coaster of way too fast, way too slow, and never. My timing is terrible for a drummer. It is awful. Give me a click, I can play to that, and then we're all set.
Yeah, I mean, it scares me now. If the click goes off, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm on my own. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's the worst. If my ears go out, like I'm done. I had that one time, a tour we had last year. My in-ears just stopped working between our sound check and when we hit the stage, like for some reason my actual like earbuds like just crapped out, and I have a backup set, but I didn't notice it until we're about to play the first note, and I'm like, I can't hear the click. I have to go off feel. And so after the first song, I was just like, hit pause, and I was like, I need to find my new in-ears, put them in, and it worked just fine. But yeah, so I don't know what happened there, but that's one of the scariest moments on that whole tour, is not having a click track and trying to listen to my guys because they can hear it. So now I am playing to them. That's a fuck up right there. Yeah. Not a fun start to the set. I'll say that much, man. Nah, man. Did that click track? How long have you played with a click track?
Every album I've done, every recording has always been to a click. But I started using it live was 2010. I started using it live.
Okay, nice. That's good. Yeah, that's roughly around the same time I started using it. I found like a lot of people were doing the same thing. You know, a lot more, I guess, orchestral parts and stuff like that were coming into metal and utilized in that way. And we can't afford to bring out an orchestra on tour or anything. No. And who wants to have a keyboard player on stage, really? So, so you just put it in backing tracks, play to a click, and you're all set. Yep. Yeah, there was a big influx of like all of us, because I was still very much so in a local band at that point, and all of us were just trying to figure out like, okay, how do these guys do it? Like, it can't be that hard. And we all sorted it out, and then everybody's live show just got that much better. Oh
yeah, definitely playing with a click makes the band a lot just so tight. It's way better. It is way better for everyone, I think. Oh, yeah,
100%. Even if you are the only one on the click, then it just makes everybody else tighter. I've even done it with other bands where we jam with a click, but then live we play with no click, and that even helps greatly. Like just rehearsing with a click, because we would have a lot of odd pauses and stuff like that where the vocalist would just do his own thing and then we come back in. So live it wouldn't work, but in the jam space when we're rehearsing, it was like made everything tighter and us tighter as a band overall. It was great.
Oh, definitely. I love it. I'd never play without it again, I don't think.
Yeah. No, never. Give me that click. Or else I am terrible. So you guys have tour April, May, and we're going to see you in North America at some point very soon. Yes. Is there anything else that everybody at home should know about the new record Death Melodies, which is out March 8th on Fearless Records?
I just think everyone should listen to it and give their own judgment on it, because we think it's a great album, and hopefully they will like it and come to a show and say hello. That's it, really. So just listen to the new record. Listen
to the new album. Go see them if you are in the UK or Germany and Netherlands, I believe, as well, is on that list.
Prague. We're going to go up to Prague.
Up to Prague as well? Okay, we'll post all the dates in the show notes. Moose, it has been a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much for joining me today. And hopefully I'll get to see you in the future.
Cool, man. Thank you very much.
Awesome.